reflecting in the line y equals x and y equals negative x. So number 2, the vertices of triangle JKL are given. Graph triangle JKL and its image after the reflection described. So JKL, J is at 1, 3. K is at 4, 4. And L is at 3, 1. And then dotted line. There's our triangle. Now, this one says that we have to do a reflection in the x-axis. So the x-axis is right here. So that is our line of reflection, which means we're going to reflect down over the x-axis. When we do that, J, if I look, is 1, 2, 3 away. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3 away, and that's my J prime. K is 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, K prime. And L is just 1, so 1, and then that's L prime. Then if I go and kind of sum things up here, J is at 1, negative 3, or J prime. K prime is at 4, negative 4. And L prime is at 3, negative 1. Now, really quick before we move on. 1, 4, 3. 1, 4, 3. 3 went to negative 3. 4 went to negative 4. 1 went to negative 1. Just something to keep in mind. Letter B, we're still dealing with the same triangle JKL, but this time we want a reflection in the y-axis. So the y-axis is right here. So instead of reflecting down and up, we're going to reflect left and right. This time over here, my J is 1 away horizontally, so I'm going to go 1 away horizontally, and that's my J prime. K is 1, 2, 3, 4, so 1, 2, 3, 4. L is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And there's our new figure, reflected to the left. If I go find my J prime, it's at negative 1, 3. If I find my K prime, it's at negative 4, 4. And if I go find my L prime, it's at negative 3, 1. Again, very quickly before we move on, this time 1 went to negative 1, 4 went to negative 4, 3 went to negative 3, and then I had a 3, a 4, and a 1, which is still a 3, a 4, and a 1. So it looks like this time the y coordinates changed when I reflected in the y-axis. Or I'm sorry, the x's. These are the x coordinates changed when I reflected in the y-axis. But last time, it looks like the y coordinates changed when I reflected in the x-axis. Example C, still dealing with JKL, but this time we have to do a reflection over the line y equals x. So the line y equals x is the one that comes out of the origin and goes through all the 1, 1s. So that line would be right there, and then it actually does extend through here the whole way down to the bottom. So that is our line y equals x. Now, when we reflect, do you notice this guy kind of looks symmetrical? Okay, so do you notice, first of all, I'm going to start with K. It's actually sitting on the line. So if it's sitting on the line, can it actually reflect over the line? And the answer is no. So K is going to stay put. So K prime is going to be in the same place. He's going to stay at 4, 4. Now, L and J, if you look at J, he's right here, and he's kind of at a diagonal, like one box away. So at a diagonal one box away, we're just going to go one box away, which is actually going to put J prime where L is. So J prime is now going to be at 3, 1. And then L prime, which was down here, was one box away, so he's going to reflect up to here. So L prime is now going to be at 1, 3. And our new figure is still going to be in the same place as our old figure, but it's just kind of like flipped over. So K is the same point, but J and L flip-flopped. Okay, letter D, still the same triangle, but this time we're going to do a reflection in the line y equals negative x. So the line y equals negative x still starts at the origin, but now he kind of goes like this. So he's the line that hits through the origin at all your 1, 1s and goes like that. Now, if we're reflecting over that line, I'm going to start with J. And if I look at J to the line, do you notice right in here, it kind of goes 1, 2 boxes. So we've got to go out 1, 2 boxes and put J prime. Then I'm looking at L to the line. And again, 1, 2 boxes. So I'm going to go out 1, 2 boxes. I'm going to put my L prime. Then K, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, which means I've got to get 1, 2, 3, 4, and put my K prime. And there's your reflection. You can kind of see the black flipping over that line onto the red. J prime is now at -3, -1. K prime is now at -4, -4. And L prime is now at -1, -3. Now, very quickly before we end here, let's see what happened. We went from 1, 3 to -3, -1. We went from 4, 4 to -4, -4. We went from 3, 1 to -1, -3. Any thoughts on what happened there? Pause your video for a second and think about it. So here are your coordinate rules for reflections if you like to memorize rules. If something is reflected in the x-axis, then the point AB becomes the point A negative B. If it's reflected in the y-axis, then the point AB becomes the point negative AB. If it's reflected over the line y equals x, then the point AB becomes BA. You just switch them. And if it's reflected over the line y equals negative x, then AB becomes the point negative B, negative A. So not only do you switch them, you also make them negative.